Hi, I'm going to walk through how to make these chewy necklaces that are really great for kids who tend to need to do a lot of chewing for some oral stimulation or sensory challenges. What has been great about these are they're pretty cheap to make, and I have tried many chewy type necklaces, and these are the ones that I find work the best, and they're washable too as well. So here are two samples of them. You can make them just one color, and you can do two different colors as well. So these have little clasps on them, so they're not choking hazards where if they get caught on something, it will break. And then these are just made out of old t-shirts. So the things that I tend to purchase to make these are, I get these on Amazon. So it's a 1.5 millimeter nylon cord. And I think maybe I spent $10 on all of this nylon. And I also got these breakaway safety clips, which I think run around $10 too on Amazon. And the size that I get are the 2.5 millimeters by 25 millimeters. And I can put some links below for this. So I do have an assistant, but she wants to remain private, which is good. So do you want to pick out a color? Gold. Gold is a color. So great. So the first thing, and I'm going to just show you guys up close, is you want to find, because they all have like a kind of a one that is a little bit more external, one that's more internal, and then they clasp together actually. So find the pair, and I will actually cut two pieces of cord, probably about 4 inches. So 1 and 2. And what I will do first is just take one of them, it doesn't really matter which one, and thread it through. There's a little hole, and I just thread it through the hole in here. And I will just make a little knot at the end. So sometimes it helps if I put my pinky through here so I don't have the hole, so it doesn't run through the hole. And I will then tie a knot. And this is one way you can adjust the size of your necklace. So you can have a longer loop so your necklace is a little bit longer if your kid likes that. Or you can make it a little bit tighter if you want to. So it's pretty easy to readjust. So I do that with one of them, and with the other, I'm going to loop both ends in, but I'm not going to actually tie it quite yet because we don't need to do that. So we're going to just pause on that, but just save that aside. So then what I do is I like to pick 2 different t-shirts out because my kids really like variety in color. And this one actually is a little bit longer. So we're going to do this one instead. So we'll actually do, let me see. Let's do this one still. We can still do this one. So we're going to do the pink. This is right at the very end of probably what I can use for the t-shirt just because it's getting to the end. However, I like to mix and match the colors together. And I have another shirt that is a little bit newer right here. Oops. And that probably would have just gone to Goodwill, but this is a great way to reuse some old clothes. And what I like to do is I like to fold it in half, and then I will cut the shirt about 4 inches thick. So I use the base of it because then it gives me a nice little loop, and I will cut it for about 4 inches. So you can do this with regular scissors. I happen to have a rotary cutter and a cutting mat, so I like to just use the mat for that. So I like to do about 3 to 4 inches because my my kiddo likes to really chew a lot. So sometimes the thicker, a little bit better. But if you need something a little bit smaller, you can always make them a little bit smaller too. So I made this about 4 inches thick and goes just like that, just from the base. And then I use the pink shirt, and typically what you would want to do, because this shirt is a little bit thinner than the other one, I will actually make this one a little bit wider than the other. And this will be a little bit more ideal to do it as a base, but we're gonna do about 4 inches on this one, but normally I'd probably do about 4.5. I just don't happen to have 4 inches for this. In fact, I don't even have 4 inches. I'm gonna actually do this as 3 inches and trim off the other one. And that is what's really great about these, is they're super flexible, and depending on what your kid needs and how much sensory or how much texture they need, you can really adjust that based on your kid's needs, which is really amazing. All right, so then, and because I'm using a little bit of the armpit of the shirt, I'm gonna actually cut off this little piece of it. Cut that off. And I'm gonna do the same for here, just because I like to have some clean edges. And then, so now I've got 2 little loops, and because I had initially made this 3 inches, I'm going to actually make this, or 4 inches, I'm gonna actually make this into about 3 inches more. So I'm gonna cut a little over 1 inch off, because it's not gonna match really good if one is too thick. So you want them to be about the same level of thickness. So this will be a thinner one. So I basically have 2 bands here, and I I attach the bands together by looping them through each other like this. So basically just do like a little knot where it goes, you put one inside the other, and then you can loop it through. I'm gonna need your assistance in a minute. So then, now I have one really big long kind of string. So then what I like to do is I take the first one that we had made the actual hole in, and I will actually just loop in this and put this the t-shirt portion and loop it right in through the loop right here. So then this is where one of the attachments, so it looks like this basically. And then I will ask a helper. If you don't have a helper, it can help sometimes, just if you've got like a hook, you can just hook it right on to that, and then you can twist it this way. So, but I do have an assistant who's going to hold. There we go. And I twist to the right here, like this. And I twist and twist and twist until it seems like the whole part's got a pretty good twist to it. And then, oopsies, I will just kind of hold that and switch it to my other hand. And then I will take the pink one and I will also twist that one to the right until it's all the way tight. So it takes a little bit of twisting. And then I will sometimes twist the other one too. And then this is where I start to twist them together. And see, and then I twist it to the left, and it will actually like naturally try to get you to twist it to the left anyways, which is really helpful. And this makes it so that the twists don't come undone, which is super great. And sometimes you'll find that you'll want to keep twisting a little bit with a couple of depending on the material that you have. So I like to just twist them because I like mine pretty twisty. And there we go. And then what I do is, so we saved that extra nylon right here, and I will put it through, because this one will have 2 loops where your fingers had been holding on. See, you can kind of see through. And I will stick the string in through the 2 loops of the t-shirt. So then this kind of secures that. And then I will find my little clasp at the base of it, small hole. I will put the nylon strings through here. And then all I have to do is just tie it. So if you find that the string is too hard to tie, just cut another one and make it a little bit longer. Depending on the kind of what your fingers can do tie-wise, it's will depend on how tight you need it. So I just do a double knot with both of the strings, so then it's nice and secure in there. And then I like to trim them as well, so that the strings aren't getting too caught into that. And you can look at the other side too as well, and you can either unknot it and make it a little bit tighter. So it just kind of depends on how tight you want it to be. And then you can clip them. Oh, you got to trim them though. You know what? I think I'd like mine to be just a little bit tighter. So you've got to undo the double knot on here. And if you're concerned about it going undone, which we've not had issues with, but if you are, what's great about nylon is you can actually take a lighter and melt these 2 pieces together so that it just kind of turns into plastic, which is great. With a little kazoo playing in the background. So I just trim these up, put them here, clip them together, and now we have a chewy necklace. And what's great, these are super washable.